Welcome back, fellow shop rats. As you can see from the short videos right before this, we've come a long way on this car since we started. We've hand fabricated almost everything on the inside of this car, including the rear frame rails. Well, today, finally, we're going to finish up just the small details right in this area here that I didn't get to in the last episode because I ran out of time. Remember that here at My Car Shop, it's about just spending the day with me and working together on whatever thing we need to do next on one of the 12 projects we have going here. Now let's watch the show intro, which is really quick. It's only about 5 seconds. I'm Mike, and this is
My Car's Shop.
Those of you that haven't been here or who haven't seen the last episode, we've just got a little patch to make right in here, and we got to do a little welding across in here and blend that a little better. A little patch to do here, and well, a little patch to do here, and then basically weld that across and then get that attached up over there. So there's not a lot to do, but the devil is in the details, and well, I'm not a detail person, so this is like stretching for me, but it's got to be done because before I am allowing myself to move over and start on that side of the car and begin working our way back to there, which is that back there is done, so we need to get all of that done. I want to get all of this done here first, and we are like this close. I always find that the best place to start on something is definitely at the place you start. So I just cleaned that up a little bit. There was a little goober of Pour 15 I took off of there, but we're going to go ahead and get this patched up in here, and then we'll probably work our way up and around this way. But we'll see. Let's get this one done first. Okay, just like that, that patch is done. So this is just like I said, the piddly little details that just take a lot of time. And I could grind that down better, but I'm going to seam seal it anyway, so it doesn't matter. As we said in our last episode, I like to go over these welds with seam sealer just in case there's little pinholes. Even though we're going to go over it with lizard skin, I still like to put a little bit of extra insurance in there just to keep the moisture out. So good to go. All right, let's move on up here and get this one done. Alrighty, there we go. I hit a couple little spots where I was getting some thin spots, so once I start getting thin, I try not to grind more. I'd rather leave a little imperfection in the weld than sit here in an endless loop of trying to fill weld spots, or either that or having to go back and cut metal and redo. So I think what I'm going to do here, though, is because this is a bit thin, I'm going to go ahead and cut this across and make one piece to go right in here. It'll make my life a lot easier than trying to join all of this with a small piece and so forth. So we'll get this cut out of here in just a second, and then we'll go from there. There we go. So let's go hammer form a piece of metal for that. I got a piece of metal kind of cut that's in similar shape. So now we got to bend it this way, and well, we just got all kind of stuff. So some of this I think we're going to do is we're going to get it attached, and then we will hammer form it in place. But I gotta get this little swoop this way to start, so this nestles down in here before I can hammer form this up and around the corner right here. One way that I'll do a lot of metal forming is just with a ball peen hammer and just open my vice jaws up to what I want. Come along like that. Now I need to make this one go the other way, so I didn't transfer that line on the back side, so I'm just gonna take a stab at it here, about there and there. This is ballparkish anyway, so. Up just a little bit. Probably a little too much, but using it like this allows me to just stretch that metal without warping the crap out of everything else like other tools might do. And for a floor pan, this is fine. So I got it formed in place, and I put my bend in the wrong spot. No big deal. We'll just go back and move it back a little bit, move it down this way, and that piece is going to work really nice, I think. So you get the idea anyway. It's hitting it with a shotgun is all we're doing. We're just trying to get it rough. We'll still do more of this metal forming once it's in the car. Okay, that's close. There's going to be some work to get it in there, but I think this is going to fit good. We'll start by following it down in the bottom and then working our way up and around and just kind of forming it in place. So I'm not disappointed with that at all. That looks good. It's you'll be liking it when it's done, is what I'm trying to say. Now that we have it kind of held in place there, we're going to just take our hammer and just kind of peen it, knock it into place. Okay, I had one spot up in there that was a little thin. I had to fill weld. May have a little pinhole in there, but I'm not sure I'm going to worry about that. Let's get this ground down a little bit, and we'll see what it looks like. Good. I always have to stop myself because I always want to start making it perfect. And my goal isn't to make it perfect. My goal is to make it done. We're going to cover that with seam sealer. There is everything's fine here. It's just layer over layer, so I didn't bother grinding that down a whole lot. That's a friggin' floor pan. But it looks good, and now we're going to move on up into here and start working on getting this part done in here and get this all buttoned up. Alright, so we got it tack welded along here. I got to go and grind that, of course, but I want to continue on now and get this done over here. So we've only got about a foot there and then up around that edge, and that'll get this done. We got to, of course, do the bottom side also, but I'm obviously not sharing a lot of the welding because how much welding can I show you? Welding is welding is welding. But, you know, when there's something unique that comes along, like hammer forming the piece like here, of course we're going to share it with you. So I'm having a heck of a time seeing through my helmet, and that's like why this bead kind of goes wonky, because what I'm discovering is this light above that I've got up here is a huge help, but it's also a huge hindrance because it's coming in behind my helmet. So I've got to figure that out and figure out how to get more light so I can see where to start, and then but not have it coming in on my helmet. So I don't know, it is what it is, but that's part of what's going on, is getting a terrible glare inside the helmet and I can't see. I was having a hard time pulling this together here, so I used a couple of sheet metal screws, self-tappers, and got it pulled together here so I could, it pulled this together so I could weld those two plug welds. Now I'll take these screws out and I will, I tack welded it on the bottom there so it holds it together when the screw comes out. You can see on both of them. We'll get those in, and then I got to go underneath because I tried a self-tapper here and it ended up pushing the metal, so I got to tap this back a little bit, but we're getting there. So this is turning out pretty good. It's just a couple little tricks I thought I would show you that I do. So I got the bottom side sealed, seam sealed up. A little bit of spots are a little goopy there, but it's fine. It's nice. So we'll get the other side done here now, and it's gonna look good. A little bit of a spot there, but I had some extra on my finger, so you know, it's all good. like that. I opted to not use the Pour 15 seam sealer just to save a little bit of money. This is all under seat area anyway, so I should have probably thought of that in here to save myself, you know, 15 bucks or so. But it's all seam sealed up, so we just got to wait for that to dry, and then we'll shoot that with some that black stuff there to make it look like the rest of that stuff there, and then that stuff there will be all done with that stuff there. So there you go, eh? What do you think of that stuff there? Got the bottom side cleaned up, a little bit of seam sealer on there, some primer, of course. I got a little more seam sealing to do back in this area, back in here and down in there, but I'm not worried about that. I will focus on that when I'm focusing on the bottom side of the car. I've done some of the cleanup work in here and so forth, but there's still, you know, there's still work to do. But that'll be just once all of these floor pans are in, when I'm getting ready to prep this to put the lizard skin on, then we'll hit it hot and heavy and get it all finished up and so forth. So it's fine, you know, it looks decent. It's a driver quality car. It's a car called Stitches. We've stitched everything, we've made it all. As we said earlier, just for those who haven't been here, we purchased the quarter panel, but we made the inner wheel well pieces that were missing all in through here. We made one trunk floor support gas tank strap. We made that entire frame rail by hand out of sheet metal. We made this section of the frame rail, and then from here back on this side, this piece in here was okay, so we chose to use it. We reused floor pans out of another car for the rear seat well area. Everything from here forward has been handmade on that. There's just a lot of stuff here. We made our own subframe connectors, both sides. So the next steps on this car are to get over on that side and start getting that floor pan looking like this floor pan. I'm sure a lot of you guys can do better, but the truth is, I am proud of that. It looks respectable. I made it myself, and again, driver's quality car. I wouldn't do this on a Hemi car or some big 446 pack car, or you know, some of the AAR Cudas that I've worked on, stuff like that. But I love making stuff, and the challenge on this project, as you've heard me say if you've been around the channel, is can I do it? And I think we're turning out all right. You know, some people want to come along and piss in your Cheerios and tell you how bad it is and all that kind of stuff. You get used to that. You just ignore it. They're idiots. It's no big deal. That's their problem. They don't get it. That's fine. They don't need to get it. They do things the way they do it. I like what I've done. I'm proud of what I've done, and I'm not going to apologize for it. It's a 318 car. It's nothing fancy. It's not a high dollar car. It was in a junkyard pile, and we're saving it one stitch at a time. I apologize for the audio issues in this one. I've got the new microphones and they've worked good up until today. I don't know if my sweatshirt was getting into it or if the microphone was getting into the roll bar padding. Yeah, this padding I got on here. I don't know, just had all kinds of audio issues on today's video. I hope I can get that sorted out. It's new equipment for me, and part of the thing I'm wondering is if it's just not durable enough for what I'm doing out here in the shop. So I will keep working on getting the audio quality better, as I promised I would do this year. I like the audio quality with this equipment. But anyway, you're not here about audio equipment for YouTube. That's going to do it for this one. I appreciate it. This is probably the last I'm going to do on this car for a few weeks. I've got that 86 Dodge truck sitting right over there that's waiting for me to get at it. I was sick yesterday. I planned to finish this yesterday and be on that today, but you can only do so much. So next weekend we'll be hot and heavy on that 86 Dodge truck paint job. Can we paint a truck for under 500 bucks? I think it's going to be a fun little series. We've already started on it. We'll be picking up some materials hopefully this week, and next weekend will be bang, bang. All right, that'll do it. We're over on the Face thing, /MyCarShop. We're over on Instant Grandma. She loves us, gives us cookies and all that kind of good stuff you've heard me say 1,000 times before. We're here on YouTube. Please share the videos with people you know. If you're on any forums or social media platforms or bulletin boards or discussion places or whatever, please be sure to share the videos if you like them, if you think they might benefit other people. And one more thing that we always say around here and we don't want to forget. Rah!